Well, we didn't get as much rain as we thought we were going to get. Got a little bit, but didn't even fill our tanks up all the way. So I'm giving it another day or two for it to dry out a little bit before I start working on the fascia and soffit. So today I can work on the chimney though, because it's all on concrete or on the roof. So what I'm doing here is, you can see my hole right there, and I got another one drilled over on this side. So I'm basically going to come straight down with the 2x4, then nail it into the truss, and then nail it into the wall, and then create a stiff back. So I'll have one this way and one that way, all nailed together. And then it's going to come out, I think I decided on 2 feet, and then it'll come down and tie into the trusses out here as well. And that way it's not just nailing something onto the roof. This will be tied in with the structure of the house, not just tacked on there. Okay, when you're doing a chimney, you got to follow the 10-2 rule. So you have to be 2 feet above your roof. That's at least 10 feet away. So in this case, my peak is within 10 feet. So I just need to be 2 feet above the peak of the house. If this were a steeper roof, or if my chimney were way down there, I would measure over to the roof at 10 feet straight across. I have to be 2 feet up from that. So measuring from my piece down up to here, it gives me a 6-foot framing that I need to build up from the ceiling level down here up. So it's going to be right about up there somewhere. And that'll put me just over 2 feet over the top of the ridge. And then once I get the cap on and everything, it'll be even higher than that. I screwed up here at first. I just put the 4-foot level on there, shot out level, made sure this was level, and nailed it in, and that put it way up here. And then I forgot that I'm on a 312 pitch and I have to measure the pitch off the corners up. So this is 49 inches wide. I would have done 48, but I had to compete with the trusses and stuff. So anyways, I'm 49 inches wide, and the middle of that would give me a little bit over a 6-inch raise. Because if I'm on a 312 pitch, if I'm coming 2 feet over to the center, every foot's going to be 3 inches up. So that gives me 6 inches up, and then just a hair, because I got that 1/2 inch in there. So what I had to do was lay my square here flat down across these two trusses coming up, and then line it up on the back here. I did 6 1/8, and then I leveled it from left to right, and then marked where it needs to be at. So now I can go ahead and get these tacked in and run the piece that goes out this way. Now this is perfectly centered, so this is 25, or excuse me, it'd be 24.5 and some change. That's 24.5 exchange. The one coming out this way is going to be exactly the same distance. So I was going to cut that, be a little over 24.5. I'll cut my 14-degree slope on each side, and I've got to cut the 14-degree slope down this way as well, and that'll be my ridge coming across. Well, I'm done for the day. You get to the point where you just start second guessing yourself on things you're doing, and you know, something was level, I put a screw in it and it's not level, and it's getting kind of aggravating. So what I got done is this so far. I'm not sure, I may have messed up on my Cricut coming out because I screwed into this board, which is actually 1.5 inches back from the face. So it may not be a perfect 3/12 pitch, but that's not that big of a deal. I did put a block under here between the trusses to give me something solid to nail to. So this is really strong. Everything's really strong. I mean, it's not going anywhere. But level wise, I went and put in some structural screws. So there's one up in there, one there, one there, one down there, and then one down there is a 4-inch structural screws. For some reason, when I tightened this one, it made the whole thing bend. So I had to notch this out so I could take that screw out and then try to get it put back together, and it was just a pain. So it kind of got to the point where I was fixing things I'd already done. And that just gets frustrating and aggravating. So I think I'm at a good stopping point right now. Another issue I was having was figuring out exactly where this riser and that riser would be at. So I put my wings coming out here, and then I can tie onto these now and then square everything off. I should be pretty easy to get that set. And then I'll run a piece, slap it up against this one, run it down the length that way, and then I'll give them something to nail into for the sheeting, and also when they put their flashing on this week. So it's getting there. It'll get done. Not that big of a deal. It's just frustrating like everything else. But we'll tackle it tomorrow, and so I got to get this done and then boxed in, and then I got to finish the fascia, and they'll be ready for the roof. And I told them the later half of this week, so I've got about 3 days. Try and keep the wind off me, so you can hear what I'm saying here. So I thought about it, and I went ahead and took off this ridge, and I'm going to bump it out that 1.5 inches to make sure it lines up correctly. And then I did get a hold of the guy who's building the fireplace to make sure that everything lines up right with this. When I was building it in my head, it made sense. And then when I thought about it last night, I was thinking my chimney wouldn't be centered properly, but I got the dimensions from him this morning, and I think it'll work out just fine. So hopefully we can finish this today. I can check this off the list. Oh, the wind has really picked up. Kept blowing my camera over. Well, I don't know if I can stiffen this up any more than it already is. I've got it structural screws in it, nails, cross brace. Well, cross brace, I guess. But you really, I mean, you can't even shake it. So all I gotta do now is just put on the sheathing, and then do the little decking part here and there. And I will put a cap on because I don't know when we're actually getting the fireplace and kind of have it operational. So let's get it boxed in for now. These two trusses, this one I will definitely have to cut out. I've structurally screwed in there and structurally screwed in there along this, I guess you can call it a beam. And then down below I'll put a stiff back through And eventually there'll be a wall down there that holds everything up. I don't know if that's going to be masonry or what that's going to be made out of just yet. And I'll do this, put a stiff back on this side too, up along the top. And that should be all it really needs. I think I'll be far enough from that way to where I won't have to do that. So I'll wait to cut that out until I actually get the fireplace in. Which I don't think we're going to get that in until, we're not even going to get it. They're not even going to be done building it for another couple weeks. And I'll have a chance to figure all that out. But we'll get this boxed in, then I can start working on the fascia. Real quick before I put this next piece on here, I'm going to put some blocking in here just to help support that roof structure a little bit more. But went ahead and sealed along here with some liquid flashing. This stuff is just amazing how long it lasts. I'll probably actually do everything just to make sure I don't get any leaks around here in the future. But definitely worth the expense to get this. It's about 30 bucks for a 20-ounce tube, but it lasts a long time and is really good stuff. Okay, got that all buttoned up and I'm pretty much done. So I go pick up all my trash. So that little spot there is called a cricket. That's what's going to keep water or direct water away from the chimney so it doesn't build up behind it. It's not very steep. It's only a 312 pitch roof. So I matched the pitch. I guess I could have made it a little bit steeper, but anyways, you really can't see it from the ground. But it'll get that all shingled up and get more flashing around it. So that has liquid flashing, it has the zip tape, and then they'll put their metal flashing around it as well. So it should be pretty watertight. But also the chimney is on the outside of the wall, so if there is any leaks, it's not going to leak inside, but actually it'll leak down on top of the fireplace. And we probably wouldn't know it for a long time unless we hear it dripping or something like that. But it's a metal fireplace with a masonry surround. So I don't know what kind of damage that would cause. I did put a little bit of a slope on top. It's not much, but it should be enough to get, you know, heavy rain to. Anyway, the water should pool to one side and then evaporate. Well, for the most part I'm done. I got a couple little things to clean up, and I didn't have enough fasteners to really put in as much as I needed to, but I've got to run into town later tonight, so I'll grab some while I'm there. And then we may have rain on and off tomorrow. I should be able to get up there and get the rest of those fasteners in. The chimney's pretty much done. I just got to put some more zip tape on it. Just around the bottom, everything else is done on. I haven't rolled it either, so I gotta get the roller out and do that real quick. And then I got some touch-up paint to do, but didn't turn out as bad as I thought. I had Natalie go along and put some weight on the top for some of those rafter ends that were warped a little bit, and we got it 90% straight. There's one little spot down there above the dining room window that's a little off, but beyond that it's looking pretty good. Roofer called, said they will drop off supplies tomorrow and they will roof the whole thing on Wednesday, he said, so I'll believe it when I see it. But we're supposed to have definitely rain Thursday, and then it gets cold. Then we're getting down to the 20s. So it's like 65 or something like that right now, but it's gonna get really cold in a couple days. Well, the roofers did finally show up. The rain's holding off a bit. So I've been moving some dirt around from where I excavated around the addition. got that spread out and leveled around the garden. As I go through, had to go back and get a rake. But I'm going to smooth up around the garden where I just spread that dirt out. And they said they're supposed to be done before the rain hits. They pushed the rain back a couple hours, so hopefully it'll get done here. I think they should make it. Well, the roofers left and we just finished picking up all the crap they left behind. And up here on the roof, and it's done, which is a good thing. But, of course, they screwed some things up. They're supposed to use the colored flashing, and every now and then they just went back to galvanized. So we go colored, galvanized, back to colored. Look at this. Look at that. That's going to stop water. So I'm going through right now and taping up all the top of their flashing and things where it's just crap. They're supposed to glue this top strip here instead of doing nails, which they did there. But over here where I'm taping it at, they just nailed it down, put some caulking over it. Cheap ass way to do it. Over here they switched back to the galvanized and not the colored stuff. And it's just like that everywhere, you know, but it's done. Siding will cover most of it up, but I gotta get the rest of the zip tape on and get it sealed up before that rain gets here, because it's getting close.